Yo, yo. Yo, yo. Yo, 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 yo. All right, we're going to be here for probably an hour or so, and then we're going to call it because we're still a bit busy. I figured I'd get on and do something. Although maybe read the new, there was a new, like, Age of Sigmar article that pertains to my interests, thankfully. So maybe I'll give that a read through. Maybe the cities of Sigmar are back in full force, but I guess we'll see. Please let me use the dwarves in the cities of Sigmar and have them not be completely sidelined garbage. Please. The fuck is this hair on me? We can pray. I think that was kind of what the article was explaining. It's like, dwarves are useful. Really? I hope so, because currently they're not. Currently they blow ass. Well, it's only really chaos dwarves, right? Like, I'm sure there are instances where dwarves could turn to chaos past the chaos dwarves, but, like, that's very rare. Exceedingly rare, I'm sure. It's not like a human who's, like, incapable of brain power past a certain point. Like, dwarves are very much sound of mind. Pretty sure there might be instances somewhere in a book that say, like, oh yeah, you know, a dwarf has turned to chaos despite, you know, the fucking chaos dwarves being a thing. I'm sure it's somewhere. Or gave insight on it. Or maybe it's in some roleplay book, who knows? Because the roleplay books are pretty good for, like, lore. Corn dwarves? I mean, like, corn slayer dwarves or something, like berserks. And it's pretty sacrilegious, but it could work. I don't like it, personally. I hate it, but that's just my opinion. That is just my opinion. Oops. Bum, 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 bum. I think for the most part, it's just a matter of selling miniatures. So, like, if GW sees some sort of rise in dwarf popularity with, like, the Chaos folks, then maybe they'll bring them back. Maybe they'll do more with them, right? Because right now we don't know what's going on with Age of Sigmar and the Chaos Dwarves. They supposedly exist. They're on the map, but we've never seen them. And I think for the most part, you may see some new stuff come out of fantasy, but it's not necessarily designed to be anything new. It's supposed to be playing off of, like, nostalgia in the previous range. If anything, you're more likely to see Chaos Dwarves emerge from, like, the Age of Sigmar, where it's like Berserker Dwarves or something, right? Yeah. There you go. Don't fuck up the holy plastics, the ancestor plastics. You know, funnily enough, I recently found a White Dwarf supplement that goes over creating Chaos Dwarves from basic dwarf kits. It was like $8, so I bought it. It's not here yet, but I want to give it a read through. Not for the sake of the Chaos Dwarves, but like they had some other fun stuff in it. Ye good old tomes of information. Chaos Dwarves, why downgrade? Yeah. They literally scream, "We want blood." Well, yeah, they want the blood of their enemies, dude, to make up for the wrongs that they've caused them. They're not going to go out and fucking bathe themselves in blood. Like, you know. Either way, though, I mean, the Chaos Dwarves existing is great. It's just more variety for the world. And that's kind of what Warhammer's known for, is its variety. Be it not the most original variety, but it's enough to please people. It's like you got good dwarves, bad dwarves. Good elves, bad elves. Good humans, bad humans. Goat men, goats. We appreciate it. It's just like, it doesn't try to be anything crazy, and it's just amazing. People love it for what it is. It doesn't need to be like underwater elves or anything, you know? Not that AOS sucks, or that what they've got blows, but, you know, Age of Sigmar is that, like, next step in evolution. It's like, where have we not taken the elves? Underwater. That's cool. Where have we not really taken the dwarves? To the skies. Okay, cool. You know, did you like naked dwarves in the past? Well, now you've got an entire fucking nation of naked dwarves. Okay. That's cool. Yo, yo. Are you really? What an honor to be in the presence of a real dwarf who is naked. God bless the ancestor gods. By Grungni, it is a blessing. We did, yeah. Not painted it or anything, because I'm not painting anything right now, but I'm just building the army. It is to the point where it's sub-assembled, and I'm not even putting it together because I don't have the bases. Right now, I want to tackle the organ gun, which is what I'm trying to finish, and then probably an Anvil of Doom. And I think what I'm going to be doing for the Anvil of Doom is making it a little bit more standard. instead of having named characters on it. Bum, bum. Lots to do. And I still do have to read that Age of Sigmar article because, like, yesterday I was flaming Age of Sigmar for fucking up my army. They're like, yeah, you know, you can have dwarves in the human army and all is great. And then you go read the rules and it's like, there's not an ounce of synergy between races. What's the point? So I hope with the article that they brought out today, it explains more of what they want to do with the cities in terms of making them relevant together instead of like 3 separate shit forces in one book. Like in some cases, there's just no need to take certain units because other armies have like better units with better synergies. So I may be tempted to try and finish my AOS army that I put on like ice for a while. I'm hoping the article provides something for my brain to latch onto and be like, okay, we can do that. Because I do like AOS, I just don't like the latest book kind of put me off. Check out Monument Mythos. No, I have not. No. Unfortunately not, I have not. I haven't even checked out what's cooking in my drawers for the last 8 weeks. I have no time, unfortunately. Was that a game? It was a game, right? My Thraka arrived today. Nice. I'm selling 2 of them. You want another one? I've got the old Finecast Gazgul. You want that one? I'll sell it to you. I got a lot of orcs that need to get gone. Gazgul Mag Uruk Thraka. I think the time of greenskin for me has ended. I'm very tempted to do like old world greenskins because I prefer them to like 40k greenskins, but YouTube series made by the one guy in the history of America where statues are actually hunger status are actually in hunger made by one guy. It's an alternate history of America where status are actually in hunger. I'll live. You just gave me AIDS. Please don't type like that again. Type like a human. Please. What did you just type? My eyes. I can't read that. What is that devilish typing? He's a witch. He's a witch. Is a male version of the witch a warlock? Is that what that is? No, I don't play Steam games. They're boring. Steam game, the only Steam game I play is Total War. That's basically it. That's all I can stomach, really. Like, dancing through League of Legends and all of the Warhammer I want to get done, there's no way to play anything in between. Like, the in-between game for Warhammer or League would be like Total War. And that in itself is just Warhammer. I indeed have no time for anything. Setting is about an alternate history America where stated statues are alive in hunger and some more wacky. I think I've seen something like that, honestly. But like it's very grim. I think I've seen something like that. Sounds like the youth of today would like that. That I don't know. Good question. That is a good question. To be fair, I haven't even played League a lot lately. I've just been way too busy. And even when I'm here right now, I won't be here for long. It's just kind of a bit of downtime to get some stuff done for fun. So, ideally, we scrape plastic, and then I have to leave again, actually, to go eat dinner, and then I have to continue cleaning out my kitchen and doing a shit ton of laundry. That is the goal right now. Many a power tool live in my kitchen under the cupboards, and there needs to be food there. Fantasy 40k or AOS? I kind of do everything. I prefer fantasy. Like, I grew up on fantasy, grew up on 40k. 40k didn't stick as much in my later years, but, like, I've got Votan. I prefer Sword and Board, though. Like, right now, I'm more inclined to go back and try and finish my Age of Sigmar stuff than my 40k stuff, and I've been sitting on the Votan since release. And that's a little bit shameful, but, you know, it is what it is. I don't have much time for anything, unfortunately, until, like, July. What the Sigmar? We all know the souls of your enemies belong there, not food. That's cool. Yeah, Joy Toy is, I mean, I'm sure you can still work out painting something. Like, you know, people overcome abilities, or disabilities, I should say. That is not true. That is not true. You're lying. I would say, I mean, the Joy Toy stuff is great. I think it looks awesome. It's just I have no, when it comes to collecting things, I do collect stuff, obviously. But there's just Joy Toy doesn't have anything for me. I remember on Twitter, I'm like, hey, Joy Toy, you guys gonna make Warhammer Fantasy? And they responded with nothing. Like, damn it, man. Make Warhammer Fantasy. Bring out some plastic action figured dwarves. I'll give you my money. Yeah, their stuff is good. Pretty sure right now for Joy Toy they've got only 40k, right? Um I ordered Gilliman recently. That's cool. Yeah, he's probably very expensive now. Like $200, $300 or something. Joy Toy is not cheap, but the quality kind of reflects that, so it's good. $250. Yeah, that's expensive. Three seasons of what for 8.6 rating? What are you talking about? Yeah, what the hell? Oh, the show you were talking about. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, I mean, again, I could give it a try, but right now I just don't have any time in between what I'm doing currently, unfortunately. I am way too busy. And me even being here right now is kind of not the best move, considering how much shit I have to do. I love Gilliman, so it was a no-brainer. Yeah, certain things will... When certain things come up in life and you've got the money, it's kind of a no-brainer. Thankfully, I'm not too big into Space Marines, so like Joy Toy doesn't take any of my money. But I'm waiting for other things. Always waiting for something. I'm waiting to fucking ban you, bro. Be quiet, man. Calm down. Paint the gyrocopter. I'm doing everything all at once. So painting is all at once. Mold lines, not mold lines. Well, I guess mold lines right now are all at once, and then I'm going to be puttying everything and basing everything. It's all done in stages. I don't like building a unit, painting a unit, and then putting it to the side. I prefer to do everything in like cleanup, filling, basing, painting, right? So everything can be done together. That's what I prefer, personally. So that's what we're going to be doing. 1,000 hours of plastic scraping. Yeah, I read. I'm in the middle of a book right now. I'm rereading one of the old dwarf novels that I had read previously, but I just don't remember as much as I used to. I've only had access to my books recently to the point where, like, I've wanted to read. So, that's what we're doing right now. Hell, the only thing I've bought recently were books. The only thing I've purchased recently were books that I didn't have. I haven't spent anything on Warhammer lately. Nothing. Yeah, the Gotrek and Felix stuff is great. The audiobooks are really well done for that series, too. Jonathan Keeble does a good job at, like, voicing Gotrek and Felix. And every other character that they've got going on. I love inhaling plastic. Don't we all? You want to inhale metal? Is that better? I can cut a bunch of metal. Well, they get... I mean, I don't want to say they get better, but, like... You'll definitely have some favorites. Some are a little bit more boring than others. Just what goes on in the book is kind of like, oh, we got to do this the whole book. Others are like, oh my God, we're going here, we're going here, we're going here. Oh my God, what the fuck is that? Jesus, what's going on? But they're overall great. Gasoline. Yeah, I don't think you should be huffing gasoline. I know it smells good, but like, yeah, not a good idea. You know what I'd love to put on this stream is a fucking movie. Put Lord of the Rings on in the corner and watch a movie while doing Warhammer. Pray you don't get copyright striked and taken out by an assassin in the night. If only. I've seen people stream in the Warhammer section to like 3 people, and they've had like fucking aliens running, or I think a guy had the Hobbit going on screen, and I'm like, bro, you got balls of steel. I can respect that. That is impressive. I'd be scared for my fucking life doing something like that. Okay, I think for the most part, most of the organ gun is like clean. The only issue is bases are not in stock and I can't purchase them. Yo, it's over for you. You've spoken too many words. I'm sorry. Listen, you've got like the most heinous profile picture as well. Oh God, buddy, you got to take a 24. I would have given you a 10-minute for that one, but you got a 24. Inbred, thank you, buddy. Make cardboard bases. Nah, that's not very good. You could go on eBay and buy Chinese bases, which are probably the exact same thing anyways as GW bases, so like there's no difference. But I do need large bases. I need to figure out what I want to do for my Anvil of Doom, because the Anvil of Doom needs a large base, I think, even though it says in the book it doesn't need a fucking base. Yeah, there's no base for that. I would have rated. Oh, you're good, bro. Saul good. It is Saul Goodman. I'm not going to be here long anyways. I've got to go soon. Way too much going on. Life be like that sometimes. Yikes. Well, I guess you do need some happiness in your British life. I understand, I understand. The British need some excitement in their existence. I can't blame them. Okay, I think I want to work on my anvil. Havana. What the fuck is she doing? She's got, like, jugs of fucking... She bought, like, cartons of gumballs that were supposed to be poured into a machine, and then you reel them out and you eat them. Instead, she's just eating gumballs. One sec. What the hell, woman? What the fuck? Okay, anvil. Fine cast. Icky. Who has time for a gum machine? We had a gum machine that we found at like a fucking yard sale. Okay. Cool. Oh, you like the chair blanket? The chair blanket? Okay, I need to build an anvil that does not go on a spherical base. Because this was meant for the end. I think this was released during, like, the end of AOS. Anvil. Anvil. I won't be building Thoric. I won't be building Craggy. Because we're not doing Karak Azul. I think I'm going to modify even the forge. Make it look a bit different. Shit, shouldn't I wash these first? I feel like I should maybe wash these first. Let me at least get some of this shit off. Bum, 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 bum. Karak Azul. And then this. Although, you know what? I probably should put a different topper on that. I think I will. Need the bellows. Yikes, the bellows. Looks fucking dreadful. Cool. And I think... Yes. Bro, these fucking gates are so thick. You know what? I think I can modify this enough to where it looks different. How did you get this off? There. And then the anvil. Kale, thank you, buddy. You subscribed asking a question. I respect that. Give me 1 sec. Thanks, buddy. Okay. I think this is basically everything to build the anvil, because I plan on doing custom characters since I don't want Thoric Ironbrow in like a Karazakarak army. My God Hand's just broke, and I am sad that I need to buy more, but don't want to spend $60. Well, unfortunately, these are probably $60. CN 120? I think these are meant for, like, metal clippers. Oh, yeah, gotcha. Yeah, I appreciate that, man. Thank you. You're good, you're good. Yeah, does God Hand make... Yeah, these are God Hands, yeah. Do you know if God Hands have, like, thin, like this? Do they make stuff like this? These are the shitty GW ones. But, like, I want ones that are thin. Are the Gotrek and Felix books that good? I like them. I think people said, I guess there's, like, somewhat of a difference between writing through, like, William King and then Nathan Long. Nathan Long took over after Giant Slayer. And then I think at the very end, who was it? Did he do... I don't remember who, like, wrote the final Gotrek and Felix books. I'd have to go back and look, but, like, the initial story of Gotrek and Felix, all the William King stuff is amazing. It's very fun. Is there such a thing as sprueless figures? Not really, because the thing about sprueless figures would imply that you're just casting them. Like, you say sprueless figures. Like a one-piece metal mold type of deal. I guess this isn't even a one-piece, right? Like, even this has mold lines and whatnot. It's just two halves come together, metal's injected. Or you pour it. Sorry, you pour that shit. You don't inject that. I would give them a try. There's a bunch. There's like, what, 17? I think there's a total of 17 Gotrek and Felix novels, plus short stories. So you don't really have anything, you know, less than 200 plus hours of reading, I think. I don't know. I don't know how fast you can read. So, wait, 200 hours of reading. Is that right? 10 hours a book? 10 and change, maybe? Eyes hurt from the light? Not really. Look at Godhand SPM 120. SPN 120? What is this? SPN 120. They're not long enough. I want something long. Like, these are pretty long. A Godhand clipper with, like, actual length to the shearing portion, that's what I want. This is pretty stubby. This was meant for metal. I prefer longer, thinner blades. So I would... If you are going to read Gotrek and Felix, the omnibuses are better because they contain the short stories. The short stories come from, like... One of them came from the Inferno magazine that was, like, fuck God knows when. I think the 90s. Other short stories are taken from, I believe, like, the anthology. They did a Gotrek and Felix, like, anthology book that I believe also has a few of them. The omnibuses are just great because they contain all of the offshoot stories that don't necessarily, I guess, get read too often, or you can even find them in their original form. Stuff like that, I believe. So yeah, I'd go for the omnibuses. Not to mention, I think the first one, the very first book, is like what, $20, $25 on GW's website. So yeah. I need to wash this. I just want to make sure I've got all the pieces. So, furnace. Bellows. Furnace, bellows, chimney, anvil. Okay, cool. So the only thing I'm missing is an apprentice and a rune lord. And maybe like the rune staff that comes in this thing, but probably not. Could I make it different? I'll just wash it anyways. Or even better, if you want to get through the Gotrek and Felix books with a little bit more entertainment value, I suppose, if you like listening to stuff, Audible has them, and they're all voice acted, and they're fun. Because it's one thing to kind of like read a book, and it's another thing to have it like dramatized for you in a way, right? And then read back to you. So that's an option too, you know, if you want to go that route. Audible's a little bit expensive. You know, you can spend like $20 on the omnibus, and I think get what, 3 books? Or you can go through Audible and spend about $45 and get all 3 of them as like an audiobook, right? Having it just read to you. So either way, up to you. Okay. So, man, how would you even base the anvil? Like, this shit would have to be... If you wanted a thematic base, it'd have to be like 100 by... Shit. 100 by like 120? 10 by 12? You see the GW website. Put it on top of the ruler. Well, what I'm doing is just measuring how much length, how much width I want, like for a diorama. The Anvil of Doom in-game doesn't have a base. You're supposed to just put it on the ground and use it, but that's so fucking boring. So I want to kind of create a scene. Because the Anvil of Doom is kind of like the centerpiece in the Dwarven army, outside of like maybe Thorgrim, but he's not even a thing anymore. Yeah. 8's a bit squeezing it. Any bundle deals for Gotrek and Felix? I've been putting off reading them for years. So here's the problem with Gotrek and Felix. They don't sell all of the omnibuses anymore. You can take to eBay and get absolutely fucking fisted by prices. I'm still missing an omnibus. Despite finishing it all, I'm missing the 6th omnibus in their latest release because they had 2 initial releases, and then they came out with a 2nd edition omnibus, which had, like, all of them. And then they came out with a 3rd edition omnibus, which has all of them and, like, I think more. So, bundle deals, I mean, the cheapest is the omnibus. Or you find them online, you read them online. Yeah. Audible's kind of ass in my country, and there aren't all these cool books. It's a little weird, but I think overall, if you're able to use Audible and have that money to spend, it's pretty worth it. I use Audible quite a bit. If you want something sick on Audible and you love dwarves, let me just go suggest something for you. These 2 right here on Audible, or if you can somehow track the originals down, which, I mean, you need a CD player. Realm Slayer. If you don't care about Age of Sigmar, but you love dwarves, you need to listen to Realm Slayer. And, subsequently, Blood of the Old World. This is Gotrek and his first foray into Age of Sigmar and kind of what he's been doing. There's good throwbacks to, like, the Old World and his buds that he ventured with. It is phenomenal. I love it. And I think this is the only reason I've started to accept Age of Sigmar, is having listened to this and then listened to this one as well. Like, I don't want to spoil it, but, like, even Gotrek comes around to it. He's like, you know, the world that was, maybe I'm meant for something more, right? It's just good. It's super, super good. So, if you want to get into Age of Sigmar and love dwarves, this shit right here is amazing. It's so fun. Also, it's voice acted. Like, it's a dramatization. What do you call it? It's an audio drama. So, like, you've got a lot of people screaming their lungs out. Never spend a dime on Age of Sigmar trash. It's not even trash, though. It's amazing, and it's so fun. Yeah, he's great as Gotrek. I can only read hard copies. I can't stand reading on a screen or even audiobooks. Okay, so if you're looking for... Again, if you're looking for Gotrek and Felix, try eBay. Gotrek and Felix. So there's a collection of Gotrek and Felix books right now on bid. You get all of them from... Oh, you just get all of them outside of, like, the latest ones that had been released. So, Road of Skulls, Serpent Queen, City of the Damned or something. I forgot the name of the book. Troll Slayer to Zombie Slayer. All 12 of them. Omnibuses go for, like... From what I'm seeing, single novels from Gotrek and Felix range from, like, $20 to $30. Omnibuses are anywhere from, like, 40 to 100. The latest edition of the omnibuses are a little bit more expensive. Yeah. I'm still missing the 6th omnibus. How much is that? The latest ones. $200. Actually, it's $100. Why, though? I mean, I've already got the stories down, but, like, it looks good on a shelf. Yeah. I mean, what I'm trying to get from Ivana is the original releases for the War of Vengeance. So the whole War of the Beard thing with Calidor and Starbreaker. That is expensive. Like, the first novel is $150, $200, I think it's like $100. Second one's like $40. Third one's like $40 or something. For some reason, I mean, to be fair, it's always the first book in a series that's the most expensive, just because I guess it's sought after and it's the first, right? Between 40K and fantasy, I have something to read for an infinity. You do. There's so many books. Like, again, the Gotrek and Felix stuff alone is 17, plus short stories. And then not every race had novels, I believe, for fantasy, but like dwarves have a couple. Grudge Bearer, Honor Keeper, Thorgrim, Doom of the Dragonback. I'm missing one of them. I forgot the name of it. All the omnibuses are 880 euros. Yeah. Very fucking expensive. I just need to go get a tub of soapy water. I will be right back. Yeah, they're pretty expensive, and you probably want to read them because you don't want to buy them and have them sit there doing nothing. Ideally. A plastic tub. Tupperware. I have literally no Tupperware. Oh, no, we're good. I've got a cup. Okay. Forget Tupperware. I've got shitty little. You can't even see it. Oh, it's so bright. It's just soap. Goodbye. 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 Cool. Just want some. Cup of holding. Yes. Wish I had more water. Well, it's soap. You need soap to clean off resin. Like, what's the word? Resin, like mold release. Yeah. Okay. So while that's cleaning. Get this shit off my desk. Yeah, the release agent. I think I'm going to clean up Lord of the Rings because I want some nostalgia in my life. So why not? Why not do a little bit of Lord of the Rings stuff? even though it's so fucked up. There you go. Finally, the clippers for what they're supposed to be used for, which is metal minis. And good God, this is going to be a nightmare. You think Finecast is bad? Look at the axe. If you think Finecast is bad, look at the axe. God damn, and it's metal. Yeah, it's pretty bad. I don't mind cleaning up metal minis, but they're definitely not my favorite. It's just sometimes metal miniatures have... Let me put glasses on so I don't get fucking metal in my eyes. It's a little bad. But it's the only way to obtain the sculpts. I wouldn't rub your eyes. Oh, I'm not rubbing my eyes, don't worry. I'm not doing anything like that. These are, though, some of the best Lord of the Rings sculpts. And that's more so like me being nostalgic, but also because it's true. Like, me as a child having this stuff and painting all of it was fucking awesome. But as an adult, it's like even cooler, you know? I would love an entire painted shelf of classic Lord of the Rings. Look at this. That's so cool. That's my childhood. Me and my buddy, when we were younger, we were trying to build an entire Moria board in our garage. And I was the dwarves and he was like the goblins. It never happened just because of the scale of that we wanted it in, but so cool. Nah, bro, that's too classic. Too clean. Okay. I wonder if yeah, you can kind of see it better. I think what I'm going to do is, yeah, like that. The sculpts are good. They're really good. It's just they're metal and they're old. You know? Finding out what the fuck the problem is an issue. Considering metal castings are rough. Like, I'm surprised they never went back and made these in Finecast. Lord of the Rings or GW. Well, this is still Games Workshop sculpts, but you mean fantasy versus Lord of the Rings? Or do you mean you just Lord of the Rings dwarves over Warhammer dwarves? Because every time that's going to be Warhammer fantasy dwarves. Every single time, it will always be fantasy over Lord of the Rings. And it's not that the Lord of the Rings dwarves suck. It's just Warhammer Fantasy took Lord of the Rings dwarves and said, hey, let's give them fucking guns, right? Some black powder and trains and helicopters and all this shit. Make their beard a sign of honor. Don't shave the beard, whatever you do. They just took traditional dwarves and made them cooler. So... that is where I'm at with Lord of the Rings. The fuck is that? See, the problem with metal minis, I don't know if you can see this, but see this like weird thing on his boot? This isn't even a mold line. This is like a piece of metal tentacle. Like, I don't know what you'd call that exactly, but it's just, I guess, left over from like casting this thing. Well, yeah, I mean, those ballista are you can run them in the game. I know it has nothing to do with the game when it was made, but like you can unironically use those in the tabletop game. This is going to be a nightmare. You know, everyone who said I love working with metal when Finecast came out, it's a bit of copium. I think it just depends on how perfect you want to be. Because you can really find problems on metal minis. You can find a shit ton of problems on Finecast, but it's just easier to work with. No, I don't. This is the Tobias Fate Project skin. Yeah, do I look like a... I look like someone from the end of, like, Alien 3. The fucking Wayland scientists who come in. Jesus. Fucking hell. Was metal really this bad? It's been so long since I've seen anything metal. Or rather, have worked on it. Like, Jesus, you can't even see the problems I can see. Like, this whole axe is just fucked. Like, you think the mold lines of plastic minis are war crimes? This is a war crime. Although this is good practice to, like, remind myself of how bad building this shit is. Considering there's so many other metal minis coming out for, like, the old world. Is that like a miscast? What the fuck? Is it even supposed to be like that? Brannigan's brushes. Hey, thank you, buddy. I appreciate that. Thanks, man. Oh my god, it's a raid of me scraping metal miniatures. Oh, it's just so exciting. It's the most exciting thing since Pet Rocks. Which actually are pretty legit, you know, if you're a kid. As an adult, you're probably seen as like a schizo, you know? We know the pain. Yeah, metal minis are not. I mean, there's something I haven't like cleaned up metal minis since they sold blister packs, and I just don't remember it being this terrible. Maybe I was a kid and just didn't care, so I took them out of the blister and just painted them anyways. But if you're more of a perfectionist and you're looking at this, it's a nightmare. This is horrible. But the sculpts are just so good. Like, I'm trying to distinguish what the fuck is... What is part of the sculpt and what isn't. Because some of this stuff is just so blended in. I paint pet rocks for kids. Don't accuse me of... I mean, pet rocks are cool, man. It's like a weird little gimmicky thing, and you can, like, give it a name and give it a home. Like, that's cool. It might seem a little bit bizarre for people who have never, like, experienced that, but it's cool. It's like sea monkeys. Like, sea monkeys probably have no reason to be kept, but good nostalgia. Very good nostalgia. I have named plants. That's cool. I don't think I could ever go that far just because I've got fake plants. I don't name my fake plants. But that's cool. I mean, yeah. You know, eventually with the more people you know, you can kind of like replace the plants with human beings. Not that you know, keep them in your house, but like you get to know the names of people instead of plants. Do you make these to sell them? Hell no. These are for me. And I can't even make them for me because it takes so long. And now I'm a little bit weirded out by like what is going on with this guy's armpit. These aren't even the dwarves. The dwarves. Wait, why is this one so much cleaner? Nah, they're all bad. It's metal minis. Never mind. They're all bad. Why do you look a bit more circular? Too many steak dinners. I'm morbidly obese. What can I say? My friends can sit on my windowsill and create oxygen for me. That sounds like some weird... I mean, hey, if it works. A little weird, though. The more people you know, the better. I don't know many people. But if I did, life would be better. I have tiny tomatoes, parsley, and pepper plants. I talk to them when someone underperforms. I flame them. What a merciful God you are. I've got a dog. I talk to my dog, you know, like a human being. Everybody talks to their pets like they know what the fuck they're saying, but they just don't. Sometimes they do, you know. The only time he reacts is when you say, like, anything food related. That's typically what he does. He's like, oh my God, did you just say food? I know what that is. And then when he eats, he's gone. Hey, nature's good, man. I think people need to be in tune with nature more. There are certain simplicities to life, and nature is one of them. Fresh air, a lake, the silence of like sitting on a dock over the water. Things that in my youth I said were boring, and now I'm like much older and I'm thinking of them more often. I miss those times. Wonder if I'm supposed to be. Wonder if I can drill into that. Nature is good, but don't be weird about it. I mean, be the person you want to be, bro. Who cares? I don't have to see it. I'm okay with it. That's like saying dwarves are cool, but don't be weird about it. You know what I mean? We all have our passions. We all like something. Some people are a little bit more hardcore than others. I understand it. Yeah, this is what an excellent miniature. Great mold lines. Great everything. I wonder how you're even supposed to like clean this. Is this not okay? It's like the same axe, except one of them was casted normally. The other one was not very good. Not very good. And that's only like one of many, I'm sure. Does anyone here work on metal minis as of late? Has anyone made metal miniatures from like any game? Because I'm wondering if like what kind of grit you'd use. Did they use fine cast molds for metal? I don't even know what went on. I mean, these molds are so old at this point because they're like what, 2002, 2003? I don't think they're in the best of shape, clearly. Like some of them still cast up pretty all right, but you know, there's still a lot of like flaking and whatnot. And you know what's crazy is that I still think Finecast is better than this. I've built many Finecast minis in the past, and I think when it first came out it was terrible, but the tail end of Finecast wasn't nearly as bad. I think Metal Minis is more of a nostalgic thing that 100% blinds you. Because if this is nostalgia, oof. This ain't the good stuff. This is going to take a while to clean up. Worst I've seen in a while. Yeah. These are odd. I mean, some of these I think were originally out, and then I think I purchased made to order Khazad like over 2 years ago or something like that. So I don't know which ones are original sculpts. Well, they're all original sculpts, but like original castings versus what we have now. Like to me, this looks like almost an original casting. I can't tell. Maybe not with this thing here. I don't know. Find files. Yeah, because I mean, I've got like diamond files and whatnot, but I typically use sandpaper, and I don't think I'll be using sandpaper for this. Because I normally use, I work with like 1,000 grit, and I go from there. 1,000 grit on plastic is perfect, from what I've seen. And I don't think this is 1,000 grit worthy. I think you need a little bit more abrasive stuff for this. Like, Jesus, the mold line. Can't really see it. Sandpaper just shreds? Yeah, I gotcha. I'll mess with it then. Because I've found that using files for plastic is just pointless. I don't like files on plastic. But this is something I do want to get done because this is my childhood army. More so than like Warhammer Fantasy. So no matter how bad it is, I will get it done. It just might take a while. Enano. Yes. Isn't that dwarf in Spanish? Or is it nanes? A nano or nanes or some shit? Something like that. It's one of those two things. These aren't really old school. This is like the Khazad, I think, were what? Early 2000s? In nanos? Yeah. Because I used to purchase stuff from a company that was Spanish. Mom's Miniatures. They got some great fucking sculpts. And their website's like, enanos. Enanos. And I'm like, what the fuck is an enanos? And I click it and I'm like, oh, it's the dwarves. What are you showing me? Khazad at 2007? Really? They were out? Really? Shadow and Flame was 2002. 2003. How did the Khazad come out years after this book? No way. What about that Dane box? Hang on. Or sorry, Ballin box. Ballin! Where is Ballin? Ballin, where are you? Oh, there you are. This. Ballin in the Khazad? This shit came out 2003. Yeah. 2003. Wow, those look like great castings. I wonder if they're all the resins and not the fucking metals. Probably. You know, here, we can take a look at actually the same sculpt. So some of these are originals, and some of these are recently casted through made to order. You know what? This is literally the original right here. Because this casting is so perfect compared to this shit. Like, or maybe not. You know, maybe I'm wrong. They actually all look pretty good. Oh, you can tell. These are, you can literally tell by the tabs on their feet. So, wow, I didn't know that. I'm assuming made to order, they scraped off, like, the name. Tolkien Entertainment 02? That's gone. Aluminum ones from how bad they were? I honestly, I don't know. Wait, this isn't even the same sculpt. Is it? What the fuck? Whoa. Wait, this is the same sculpt, but the axes are different? Am I wrong? No, they're different. They're all holding their axes differently. What the fuck is going on? They are different. It's weird, though, because they're dressed like, this is the same sculpt. It's literally the same sculpt. But you're right, they are different. So these two... I don't have... Okay, so this is an original. These two were from that Ballin's box. Oh, yeah, look at that. They are different. You're right. This one and this one. You know, come to think of it, I should just build the fucking ones that aren't made to order. Like, made to order, made to order, made to order, made to order. This is not made to order. Not made to order. Made to order. Not made. Not made to order. Okay, cool. I think those are better, honestly, because I don't plan to build all of them. Considering this is more so a bit of nostalgia for me, I don't really want my old Moria army. Not like I once had. So, this is original. What the fuck? By Grungni. We need some serum to make that not so flimsy. Yeah, it's a dwarf with a bow. I believe... Where's Ballin? Okay, this is the OG Ballin. Okay, cool. Interesting. Okay, so fuck the made-to-order Khazad-Guard. They just don't work out too well. So this should be all the sculpts. You get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Khazad-Guard sculpts and Ballin. So 4. Yeah, all 8. And these are the original ones too. Cool. So there's no there's no made to order. Yeah. Axe Viagra. The dwarves in Lord of the Rings used bows. Very disgusting, but you know, you gotta start somewhere. Okay, we'll just do this. Why would they scratch off the, what do you even call that? Trademark stuff? Copyright? Why would you scratch that off? Shady GW, shady. You'd file it off at the base. Oh, yeah, you would, to get this in. Or you'd scrape the plastic out of the way. Yeah. You would. Wait, do these have the bases in it? Oh, they do, wow. GW 98. 92 bases. Oof. Oh, I just spilled a bunch of water. Man, that's like the 10th time I've spilled water on this fucking channel. I can't work in peace. Yikes. Oopsies. Hang on. Maybe my desk is too small. I think that might be it, honestly. That may be it. But thankfully it's only water, and water isn't sticky. So that's a bonus. Like, come on, man. Fucking hell. What looked like a dwarf? What? Yeah, soon. Can you get me a towel from the bathroom? I spilled water. Yeah, there it is. Check the bin. Nothing. Okay, I don't think I want water on my desk anymore. I'm not gonna lie. This is just a fucking nightmare waiting to happen. Thankfully, it didn't go under my desk. Good. Throw it. Yeah, good. Thank you. Hey, thank you. I'm a scientist. I'm very smart. I think. My brain is working. Thank you, buddy. Okay. Time to continue cleaning horrific metal minis. You know, one day I wish I could own the studio resins of these because that would be amazing. But, like, it's just not going to happen. The resins of these are so nice. There's not a single mold line, no problems. It's fucking awesome. Like, how would you even get that out? This part right here is pure metal. It's not supposed to be. I think you just drill it. You drill it out repeatedly and then, like, stab it with a blade. I'm pretty sure. Like, even that. What is that? Holy. This is ass. Brothers and sisters and sarcasm in the UK. Yeah, have a good night, buddy. Take it easy, man. Peace, good sir. Peace, peace. Yeah, making metal minis is a skill in itself, for sure. There is no doubt about that. I guess a blade actually does do pretty well, but then you've got flakes of metal. You kind of don't want that anywhere. Atlantic Ocean, a pond. You don't know the saying from across the pond? Have you even lived life? Gotta get this out of here. Or maybe I just do general cleanup and then come back and like really whittle away with this. I wonder if a Dremel is good for shit like this. It'd have to be good. There's no reason it wouldn't be. Half of these minis are just like what is that? What is that? Ain't no way you want a blob there. What is that? But at least I'm getting mileage out of the God hands. I'm not a native English speaker. Yeah, you're good. That's just the saying. When people live over the ocean. Hmm. Jesus. I don't think a blade is good for this stuff. Like, it works, but I don't think I want to be using it too often. It feels a little bit janky. A little bit janky. They still make metal minis, and they're actually producing them right now for the old world. These are early 2000s dwarves from, like, the Lord of the Rings stuff. Moria, specifically. And, yeah, they're just old. And so the castings are not the best. But they still do produce metal as more of a nostalgic thing. Because I'll tell you right now, Finecast is better. It's just better. I will sit here and clean up bubbles and problems compared to dealing with, like, nubs and other things you can't even have access to here. Like, I need these. What do we got? Smooth, rough. Like, yeah. I feel like that's just leaving impressions, which is not what I want. Bogyo, buddy. Metal, yeah, single minis, and, well, because metal is the easiest to produce. It's the cheapest. It's certainly not the best, but then again, it may come down to just, like, how you cast it, is if it's any good. Because it's never a matter of it's never a matter of, is the sculpt good, because the sculpts are always amazing. It's just the medium in which they're casted in. If you could have this in plastic or resin, you'd be in heaven. Instead, we're in hell. One circle, metal minis. Like, I'm going to have to drill into those, even here. Because my problem when it comes to cleaning up minis is that I'm too anal about how they look. Painting is easy compared to cleanup for me. So I will probably take a lot longer than I should on certain things, but when it comes to metal minis, I think you just have to accept that it won't be perfect, because the sculpts themselves are just fucking riddled with problems because of casting. So I am okay for that. I understand. I wish it wasn't so. Some of them do come out pretty good, though, actually. We're here for a little bit, yeah. My paint looks like trash. Most of my armies are just unpainted because of it. Oh, you gotta practice on stuff, right? I think if you want to learn how to paint better, paint single miniatures. You don't need to paint whole armies, because at that point you might be a little bit scared of fucking everything up. Like, I haven't painted in years, at least armies, and I'm gearing up to do my old stuff, or my old world stuff, and even Lord of the Rings. So I ended up test painting, like, I've only painted 2 things in probably 3 years, because I haven't even been at this location, like, at my Warhammer station consistently enough. So I painted, like, a Dwarf Warrior from Lord of the Rings, and I did one for, like, Warhammer Fantasy or Age of Sigmar. And I mean, you can learn from each one you paint, right? Like, this isn't... I could do better highlights or blending on this shield or something. Like, you can always learn from just painting individual minis. It helps figure out, like, what you want to do for the army. And they're a one-off, right? Like, you don't need to stress too much, because if you fuck up, you're not fucking up the army. If you're someone who just wants to jump in and paint stuff, I understand you starting the army and just YOLOing it. But if you want to think it through a little bit more, just paint one thing at a time. Put a miniature on a plinth, a little block of wood, whatever it is. Take a bit more time to paint it, you know. Experiment, and you can do it pretty well. Those look so nice compared to what I did. I mean, just give it patience, man. I don't even paint that much. That's the crazy thing. I'm just a little bit more patient with what I do. All it is the waiting game. I guess also understanding different techniques and being precise with the brush and whatnot, but patience. You don't gotta rush through everything, especially if it's a hobby, if it's, like, meant to be for fun. You want to enjoy the process, not spend $3,000 and then run through it, speed running it, you know? Mm-hmm. Well, you can repaint. You just have to, like, strip the paint off. And you know what? I don't think you should repaint, because you can look back at what you've done and say, I can improve there. I can improve here. Right? That's not... it's easier said than done if you've got the minis, right? Like, if you don't have that many miniatures, you don't want to be doing that. But if you've got, like, a bunch of older bits or miniatures you don't care about as much, don't repaint them. Look, like, as an example, why would I want to repaint this? I'm not, like, entirely happy with it, but I was able to do something for the first time in a few years and look at it now and be like, okay, maybe instead of highlighting the fucking wooden parts on the helmet, I should have done, like, a sort of blending, right? Like, lighter on top, darker on the bottom. The hair is dog shit. It needs more layers. It's just too flat. You know, the skin could be a little bit livelier. The boots could have more highlights. The green could have a little bit more highlighting as well. Like, certain things you could just look at it and be like, okay, I've got this to look at. Now I'm going to try and do better. That's what I like doing. Everyone always says if you want to get better at something, just, well, in terms of mini painting, it's always with single miniatures. paint a bunch of like one-off things that you enjoy, and eventually, once you're satisfied with like your skill, then apply it to the army. Or again, just jump into it and YOLO it. That's great. There's nothing wrong with that. I miss Mochi Cam. Yeah, he'll be back. He's in Montreal right now. McDonald's spokesperson. Yeah, honestly, man, just like I think you'll stress more about stuff that you've like you know you want for your army. Again, go get a bunch of like Space Marine bits and just start painting them. I don't think there's anything wrong with painting something that isn't part of the army. And again, it's just practice. Best way to do it. Paint one-offs until you're comfortable enough and then apply that to like all of them. Because there's no way I'm going to spend 30 hours scraping and cleaning metal minis to then paint them immediately and be like, man, I fucked them up. Like, I think what I'd rather do is clean them up as best I can and just paint some more dwarves and figure out the scheme, and you're done. Let me just see this, actually. I'm 99% sure this is actually fucking up the metal to the point where I maybe don't want that. I'm not sure. Maybe to get off like the majority of it, and then I just go in with like sandpaper, abrasive sandpaper. This is metal, yeah. Thankfully, all my stuff is 95% plastic or resin. I jumped into it later, so I got the new versions. Exactly, yeah. A lot of the older stuff is in metal. They've gone back and casted things up again in resin, which is cool. I guess for the sake of doing this, it's more of like the feeling of accomplishment being able to clean metal minis than actually enjoying it. Because, like, this is not fun. This is not fun. But it's when it's done, it'll be awesome. It'll be great. So that's what I'm hoping. And I do believe with a little bit of willpower and a file, you can make it work. Well, you shouldn't be inhaling resin, yes. Ideally, you don't really inhale any of this stuff. Like, Fucking hell. Hmm. Okay, this is a little abrasive. It's a little too big. Can't use that. Did that just get in my fucking eye? I don't think it did. But what the fuck? Ooh, Lee. Maybe working with gloves with this shit might be a little bit better. I'm not gonna lie. I wonder what type of sandpaper I'd use for this actually. Um, wonder if I can even use 1,000. Kind of down to try that. You can use 1,000. Cool. 1,000 grit is just working for everything, it seems. You can't really see it in the thing, but... 1,000 grit works for everything. It's a miracle, but it eats the fuck out of it. Interesting. Maybe go for like 900. How are things? We're good. We're chilling. Very busy. I need to get out of here soon. Probably in about a couple of minutes. We have to have dinner. Dinner and cleaning. I think what I need to do is put together a metal cleaning kit because God knows I'm going to remember all of this. Although, to be fair, it's kind of like plastic minis, but more aggressive. Shit. Missed you this past week. Mandarin, yo, buddy. Or Manred, sorry. Yeah, I've been really, really busy this past week, so, like, I don't blame you. Super, super busy. I streamed on the main channel a little bit today, but even then it wasn't that much. I should be free of all of this misery in about a month. July. July 1st, we should be back in Bizzo. Hmm. Misery. Suve? How do you pronounce that? Suvi? No, I don't think I have. Yep. After July, we should be good to go. We should be completely fine to just be able to stream 10 hours a day on both channels, and we're good. Just life and being busy. You know what I feel like is better for this is like 900 grit, maybe? You know what? 1,000 is good. A 1,000 is just very surface level, and it's still actually cleaning it. A sous vide after July, that's 2 months. Is it lamb? I don't really eat lamb. No lamb for me. I know a lot of people like it, but to me, that's just. It's as low exotic as it comes for me, but. Lamb is soft and chewy. I mean, it's probably really fucking good. I've just never really bothered with it. Growing up, it was just chicken and beef. Chicken and beef. Try eating crocodile. I'm good. I'm good. I've got food and it ain't no crocodile. Sounds like an Australian thing, I assume. If it breathes, you gotta eat it, mate. We've eaten it. Okay, cleaning metal minis isn't as bad as I thought it would be, but it's a bit rough when you try and go in and like find all of the initial problems. But when you're cleaning it, it's not that bad. It's just a harder scrubbing. Okay, I'm so not interested in this album right now. Iguanas and pythons. You eat that shit? How about I have a Big Mac? Like a normal person. You know what I mean? Go eat a Big Mac, you freak. Be normal. Why can't you be normal? Iguana legs are a common thing, the diet of Florida man. Well, the diet of Florida man is walking out of his fucking hut, looking around, grabbing the closest thing that breathes, and eating it. Like, that is the Florida man. Delicious. So tasty, I want more. I prefer them as pets. Keeps the bugs out of the house. Okay, you guys have some fucked. I don't know, man. Me? Listen, we have dogs here and cats. We don't have iguanas. But that's cool. Different way of life. Kangaroo tail is pretty good. Man, you guys are just committing war crimes, aren't you? Oh my god. You eat the iguanas, you eat the kangaroos, you eat the babies, you eat the monkeys. You guys are just committing crimes. You eat the crocodile, like, geez. War crimes. Reindeer heart is the best meat, and now you're fucking up Christmas? Nah, I can't trust Australians anymore. That's just fucked up. What army do I play? Dwarves. Which setting? Yes. Yes. Is it more of a war crime to eat or kill? I mean, bro, leave Santa's reindeers alone. That's all I'm saying, man. Did you not have a good childhood? Did Santa not bring you any presents? They even eat brains? I mean, people eat every part of an animal. It is what it is. Bum, 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 bum. Ground up cricket powder. Oh, fuck those guys. Who cares? Eat them. Listen, crickets don't bring presents every year, okay? You can eat them. Ain't no one gonna pour out one for a damn cricket. I say the entire species goes. You're late? Yeah, you're a little bit late. If you're not meant to eat reindeer, why does it taste good then? Okay, that's the same thing as saying, well, maggot cheese tastes good. You. Yeah, we gotta get out of here soon, though, buddy, unfortunately. All I'm really doing is cleaning a single metal mini. Fuck no, can I get through all these? We're just trying to see what it's like to clean metal like we once did, and I'll tell you right now, it's an experience, I suppose. Not sure if it's an amazing one, but it's one nonetheless. Okay, I don't think upgrading to metal is anything. Meat Canyon made a video about eating human recently. You know, Meat Canyon subscribed to me. Last year, he said he likes my streams and my music taste. Yeah, I'm that guy. I'm him. I'm him. I feel like maybe 900 grit would be perfect for metal. I think 900 grit actually would be excellent. Um, Ivana? Ivana? Can you come here for a sec? She's in a game. This woman. She can't come here for a second. Batman doesn't like that. Sandpaper assorted. Shaving away more dwarven figures. Material tomorrow. That's all I do. Oh, 800's right there. But I want to try 900. Sanding sponge. 240. Yeah, you're gonna fucking laugh. So we got 800. Looking for 900. I need 900. 8,000. What the fuck do you sand with 8,000? Copium. 4,000, 6,000, 240, 400, 4,000, 600. There's no number. Is this literally 10,000 grit? I don't know. This has to be so low. 120, yeah. 2,000, 8,000. Where's 900, bruv? 800 again. 600. There's a 1,000. I really want 900. I won't settle for 800. I have a mental problem. There's no 800s in here. Or 900s. Does it even have texture? I was feeling it. Doesn't feel like anything. This is a tabletop game, yeah. Hmm. Mm, 800 does work, but like... I think dusting the piece in like 1,000 is perfect. 900 might be better, though. You know what? No, 1,000's pretty good. Interesting. I should maybe invest in more sanding sponges. Not so much for plastics, but metal minis. I kind of like the sponge. It's a little bit more lively. And you can kind of just take it and go over the whole mini. Oh. New trait unlocked. New skill. You know what? Very interesting. There's a paint chip on the box. Wow, Games Workshop, sussy. There's metal flaking. That they didn't clean up? Are you kidding me? Heavy Metal Games Workshop team? How disgusting. Because these are like leather van braces. Will this channel ever get a 24-hour stream? Maybe. If I had the willpower, possibly. You know what? 800's pretty good for this. I think the problem is if you dip too low with your grits, you're just going to destroy the mini. And since we all have mental problems here about miniatures, I don't think we want to do that. Check something out. I think actually, yeah. You can definitely get carried away with, like, sanding things, and it would just become way too flat. You lose all your detail. I collect Counter-Strike skins. Bro, collect Warhammer. What are you doing with your life? Sell all that garbage and buy minis. Buy Warhammer. That's what you need. You know, I think 1000 grit is just universally the best grit. It doesn't destroy detail, and it's soft enough to where, like, it even works on metal. Can't really see it. It's very smooth, though. Yes, they have to adjust their vision. You know, there's a lot of interesting old tales where even wearing earrings was to kind of, like, throw off seasickness and shit like that. You know, whether or not that was, like, practical. Yeah, there's a lot of cool tales. Okay, I'll give it one more song, and I gotta go. Let's put on an 11-minute song. You know, working on metal minis is kind of chill. There's a certain type of simplicity that comes to it because it's all one piece. It's like not the most enjoyable experience, but it's different from plastic. When did I become a dad? When I decided to do Warhammer. Camera setup, like the top this camera setup, it's in a better position. Yeah. I still am getting a DSLR though, because the DSLR is going to be way better and people donated for it, so I want to put that money to good use. Um right now I'm in the middle of moving a bunch of stuff, so what we have is what we got. But once I'm situated, then we can kind of bring in the big guns. Glad you had time to chill. Yeah, right now this is all the time we got soon. Even the league cam earlier looked well. This is a better setup. The setup that I have here is much cleaner, and I've worked on cameras and whatnot to try and make them look a bit better. Come July, we're going to be in this room, so I want to make sure everything is good. Cam in your living room is bad. It's the same camera. Yeah, I've had this set up for years. I mean, this is where I live. It's just when we spend a lot of time with Ivana's family and whatnot, it's a different setup. Yeah, I do. Takes a while to get to that point, but eventually I will. Right now, I feel like I'm juggling having started this nostalgia project, which is just Lord of the Rings Dwarves. I'm juggling a Warhammer Fantasy Army, well, Warhammer Old World, so that's one game. We're going to be getting back maybe into Age of Sigmar, which is the article I should probably read before I go. Yeah, lots to do. There is no shortage of things to finish. Does anyone in this chat use sanding sponges? The setup near the window didn't look too good. Oh, that's not a good setup. That's garbage. There is no way that's going to be good. We're out of there soon anyways, so thank God. Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum. Bum, ba-dum, bum, ba-dum, bum. I'm almost certain, knowing how fucked up metal minis are, I could probably clean one per day. Like, really get done everything on this thing, because this is awful. Compared to plastics that are super smooth and mold lines just erase with ease, this is certainly not that. This is definitely not that. What I need to look up, though, you know what? Ugh. I don't know if I'd agree. Maybe certain types of metal? I'm not sure. 1,000 grit sanding sticks. Why do they come in a variety pack? Like, what the fuck? I don't want variety. Garbage. You look like a boomer with those on. Cool. Yeah, cool to buy his fate. It's like the emote. I'm cool. I'm hip with the kids. I know what that means. Don't mind me. I'm a smart cookie. Was born 32 years ago, which is false because I'm 27, but I look like I'm 32. He's ascended. It's true. I'm a god amongst men. Yo, are you ever going to play Old World? Like, why do you want to play 40k, dude? That's kind of lame, no? Isn't Old World kind of just the coolest shit ever? Right? Right, my boomers? Well, why haven't you started? That's the question. Were you going to play Dwarves or Greenskins? I got the Greenskin book. I'm dying to see what the Dwarf book is. And also, I'm going to get back into Age of Sigmar, maybe because there was an article released today that I should be reading. Okay, I think I'm done cleaning this metal mini for now. It's not finished, but, like, dear God, it's close enough. According to leaks, there might be Chaos Dwarves in Age of Sigmar. Disgusting! Don't say it! Vile! Have you seen their noses? Their hats and their horns? Ew! Their beards? Beards? Look at my beard. It's like theirs. Disgusting. No beards. No long beards. Wait, is this 8? Fuck, whatever. Figured they were in squat territory. No, even the squats are better than them, and they've got no beards. Because I don't even... The thing about squats is that you can't even view them as dwarves. Like, they are dwarf-esque, but they're not dwarves. Right? They are stunted humans, cloned, and modified for their environment and their work. Like, they are far from the love of any ancestor gods. And they also worship AI. Like, it's very 40k, but it's very far from what I like dwarves. Dwarf-wise. Which is fine, you know, but... Okay, really... This is Thoric. Well, this is the anvil in here. Cooking. Let him cook. Fucking spilled water earlier. Yeah, this should all evaporate. Yeah, I need, Where's the lid for my blade? Before I cut myself and die. Yo, yo. Let me go wash my hands. I'll come back, and I want to read an article. I want to read with my reading glasses. I will be right back. 1 second. Okay. Oh. Oops. What was that? Fantasy-wise, I like Greenskins, Britonia, Lizardmen. You like Dwarves are my favorite second than Greenskins? Yeah, I mean, Greenskins and Dwarves are kind of my jam. Humans as well. I can like humans. I'm a boring man. I like rats and humans. Well, I mean, rats are more extravagant than dwarves and humans and orcs. Not that that's a good thing, but I'm just saying. As a My Chemical Romance fan, you can see a poster of them in the back. Would vacuum? This is just a handheld. It's a mini, like, Amazon handheld vacuum. Yeah. It's good for Warhammer and other things. It was like $20. No, that's a poster of White Dwarf. That's not My Chemical Romance, thank God. So what I wanted to look into was this. New Warhammer Age of Sigmar faction focus. Is this an update to their army? Like, what is this? 1 sec. I have the book. I just don't know if... Okay. Gods, monsters, and warriors of unnatural prowess all walk the mortal realms, waging war, pillaging, and conquering. Okay, blah, 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 blah. Alongside elves, dwarden, and even ogres, they march out to restore... Okay, blah, 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 blah. Overview. The cities of Sigmar are the ordinary folk of the realms who have taken... Okay, blah, blah, blah. Literally blah, 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 blah. Orders. Okay, cool. So they're like guard. Elves and dwarden fight shoulder to shoulder with humans, representing the cosmopolitan nature of the cities of Sigmar. On the battlefield, commanders know the strengths and weaknesses of their armies. Constant parts, eking extra value out of the strike them down thanks to swift elves, while the stout dwarden help hold the line. Declare. Pick a friendly Cities of Sigmar hero that has not used the Officer's Order ability. This can turn to use this ability, then pick a friendly Cities of Sigmar unit wholly within 12 inches of the hero, and that did not charge this turn. The target has Strike Last and a ward save of 5+ for the rest of the turn. In addition, if the target is Dwarden, subtract 1 from the hit rolls for combat. Okay. I mean, is this in the book? They started faction focuses for 4.0. Wait, so should we be getting a 4.0 cities book? Because I have the two last ones. Uh, I can look into old world rules. Yeah, I mean, they're online. You'll have to get new books. Well, I'm just interested in. So here's the thing. I played cities initially, and the synergies in cities when they first came out was very fun. The current state of the dwarves in the Cities of Sigmar book is fucking garbage. It's just unfun. Why would you play that when you can play old world fantasy? Um, so my gripe with it was that for a book that's supposed to have humans, elves, and dwarves working together, they really felt like three factions in one, and there was like little to no synergy. So what I'm hoping is that they, first of all, revert Hurricanum. They might even just remove the Hurricanum, and that shit's out the window. I hope they don't remove the Hurricanum. But that was one of the biggest changes, because like most of the lists I ran when I played AOS centered around big dwarf gun lines, and like the Hurricanum being the big, buffer piece, along with like a runesmith. So I'm just hoping in the new book, and they probably will gut out the Hurricanum, unfortunately. But I'm hoping with the new book that they actually do bring in, again, more synergies, more buffing to like shooting. Allow me to use dwarves and humans and they can all get buffed out together. Because one of the weirdest things they did, the long-standing rumor was that all the dwarves being pulled or merged. That's what I was thinking too. Because the biggest thing that GW is doing right now is that they're taking things from. Well, this is currently what's going on. They're taking sculpts out of Age of Sigmar that were once fantasy, and they're putting them back into fantasy. What's weird is that to do that with cities, I mean, there's so many fantasy units. All the dwarves are from fantasy, all the elves are from fantasy. So what I was thinking is that, are they just going to release updated sculpts? Like the next generation of Iron Drakes, the next generation of like, dwarf warriors that look part of the cities instead of typically with their, dwarven shields and whatnot. Exactly. Yeah, the whole idea of Cities of Sigmar is all of these races working in tandem together, right? That's the idea. I don't want only humans in cities. That's so fucking boring. And if I play a game, I want to be able to use all of the rules for everything. We need their own books. Not really. No. No. If you release Cities of Sigmar, if a new Cities of Sigmar book comes out, you can really just have 3 dwarf units, 4 dwarf units, 4 elven units, right? Like maybe 5. That's kind of a lot, GW, if they are going to sculpt that much. But for me, Cities of Sigmar was always this giant conversion project where, like, I don't care about this aesthetic, but what I would do is use dwarves. And I would use dwarven units, and then alongside humans or elves, I'd proxy them as dwarves. And that synergy used to remain, but now it doesn't, so I'm a little bit conflicted. I guess we'll see. Like, this thing could be awesome. You could turn this into like a giant steam golem or something, and then have a master engineer on top with like a long rifle, right? Like, you could do a bunch of shit. This could just be like dwarven ram riders, right? Super easy to do. This is just clans dwarves, I like the newer humans for cities. They're much grittier. I think I'm more of an Empire fanboy than a Cities of Sigmar fanboy, personally. But they look all right. I don't think they're bad. It's just, if I had to choose between the Empire and this, I'd choose the Empire. But again, it's subjective. People like what they like, and that's cool. And there's variety for everybody. Well, either way, if this is out of the new 4th edition Cities of Sigmar book, dwarves are still here. Elves are still here. How many? I don't know. Because right there, elf, dwarf. Yeah, peace, man. I'm getting out of here, too. I always hated how the old Empire stuff looked. Way too goofy. I mean, I liked it. I don't know. I grew up on fantasy. I grew up on 40K and all this stuff, but keep the hammerers and ironbreakers. I don't know about that. I just say, how about we make new dwarven minis and put them in the cities of Sigmar, and then shaft everything out of cities and put it in age, like old world, right? I don't know. I've given it some thought recently. Initially, what I wanted to do with my cities army was that I wanted to make it look like Warhammer Fantasy. And now that I'm doing the old world, I don't really want to make it look like Warhammer Fantasy. I want to make it look like the next step in kind of what could have happened to them in the Age of Sigmar. I'm happy we're getting new rats. They look good. Yeah. I mean, look, I'm a fantasy fanboy. I love Age of Sigmar for like the Gotrek stuff and some of the dwarf stuff, but the overall setting isn't really my thing. I will say the new rats look really good. Death Guard Codex next year. Pretty sure with every book you're probably going to get a new mini or two. Most likely. Like initially when they did the Skaven, you know when they showed the Skaven, and they gave them the new book, and they gave them the Deathmaster, and they gave them like the Night Runner fucking like team that wasn't even in the game. It was more of a Warcry thing. They did that, and then for the next release, they said, "Fuck it, here's everything," which is cool. So some factions get garbage though, like Sisters. For now, I think later down the line they're going to get better stuff. Why wouldn't they? Like, again, that ties it back to the Skaven. People love Skaven. And initially when I think the second Skaven book came out, it was very bland in its releases, miniature-wise. A few years later, they're like, holy shit, the entire range is refreshed. Exactly. There's still, right? There's more shit coming. Thankfully, I'm very hard stuck in my ways. I don't change. I'm not even tempted to change. So, like, for me, I'm going to be with the dwarves until we pass on. So, where the fuck is my blade cover? Like, I'm not even remotely tempted by Skaven at all. Or cities or anything. Like, the cities I will revive if we get dwarves. If no dwarves, no play. That's just how I am. I did want to jump Canoness, but they took away Celestians in 10th. You talking about they took out like a whole plastic miniature? Like a unit? Because I'm not too familiar with like what 40K is in terms of like the units of armies. Specifically Sisters. I don't think I've ever looked into Sisters at all. Built as Celestians, so the... Oh, gotcha, okay. It's the elite version of, like, basic troops. I mean, I feel like 10th edition, or, like, whatever edition we're on right now, simplified 40K a little bit. A little bit more than people would have liked. I guess it is what it is, man. People still play it. People still love it. You know, it's just a bit easier. Where the fuck is the blade cover? Well, you know what, folks? I think that's going to be it for me either way. I do have to go because we got to get dinner. I will be on tomorrow. I don't know when. Or maybe even later tonight at like 2 a.m. or something. Or maybe I'll stream on the other channel if I can kind of muster up a few hours. But yeah, with that being said, I got to go. Everybody, take care of yourselves. Be well. Stay safe. And I will see you a little bit later. So peace, everyone. Peace. Peace, guys. Take care, everyone.